Think of Tutti Frutti. Think of Good Golly Miss Molly. Think of Long Tall Sally. When I hear those songs, it reminds me of my late grandmother, because that was the stuff that she used to rock out to. That's all Little Richard, the self-proclaimed and accurately the architect of rock and roll. But believe it or not, my man didn't get paid for 3 decades. Not a dime for his royalties. Here's why.
Well, they were just crooks. They thought I was a little black fool from Macon, Georgia.
You have to remember that Richard left Specialty Records 18 months into a 3-year contract. Art Roop said, there's a price to be paid. You forego any and all future royalties.
So Richard never received a penny after a time from either his songs or his recordings. It was egregiously unfair.
I saw all my friends on the hill and I was still in the valley. And it bothered me.
Now, Little Richard had a rough life. He was one of 12, I believe. He watched his dad die in front of him when he was a kid. And so as he was growing his success and this fame, he needed to look back to Macon, Georgia to take care of his family. Like many creatives, what he was doing was to help empower the other people in his life. His big mistake, though, his challenge, was that he did not fulfill his contract. And patience is way less expensive than regret. There's 2 big things to Little Richard's business story that it's important to point out. The first thing is that you cannot unsign a contract, just like you cannot unring a bell. You can't just leave when it's bad. It's not like a bad relationship with someone you're dating. It's not like, you're a kid and you're just going to go and play with somebody else. You can't do that. It's legally binding. It sounds obvious, but we tend to forget it because we tend to be creatives. We're inspired. We find another opportunity over there. We want to go for it. But you can't build the future if you're still tied up in your past. That's what got Little Richard caught up there. The most important thing you can do is take your time. Take your time with whatever contract is being presented to you. Get representation, whether it's a lawyer, which is often worth the money. I've hired quite a few in my past. And also to ask questions. Sometimes when we get a contract, particularly as creatives, we think by being cool and not asking questions, we seem like we know what we're doing. No, we don't want to look like we know what we're doing and then not know what we're doing. We want to actually know what we're doing. And the best way you can know what you're doing is by asking questions. Number 1, by asking questions, it shows, as we say on the East Coast, you're not going to go for the okie doke. That means that you're going to question these little things that might be in the contract that might not be in your best interest. Terms like in perpetuity or all rights. I've done videos about that. I'll be sure and share a link below. Right? Those little details. Ask questions about that. The second thing is that you actually will get informed about it, which particularly if we go back to the 40s and the 50s when Little Richard was coming up, then those options weren't as available, particularly for people of color or other issues. There wasn't as much opportunity to give pushback. Now we certainly do have the opportunity to give pushback. And as a creative, you are a business person, so we have to get into that. Now, I've signed some bad contracts. I've had a long enough career. You can see the gray hair. And sometimes you need to just wait it out. Sometimes you can renegotiate it, but that's a little tougher. And sometimes you just get the job done. If you had just waited another 18 months and just fulfilled that contract, we wouldn't be talking about him today, and he wouldn't be missing 30 years of royalties. Now, if you negotiate, I wouldn't even necessarily bank on that. No pun intended. Because if you negotiate, you actually have to have some type of give or leverage or benefit to the other party. And if they don't have a benefit to renegotiating this lopsided contract, they're probably not going to listen to you, just like they did with Little Richard. The second part about Little Richard is that companies actually bank and rely on you being impatient. A lot of us are young and we're hungry for fame, we're hungry for money, or we're hungry for both. Now, if you've seen Little Richard, I never got a chance to see him in concert, but if you watch the concert footage, I highly recommend it. That guy is shining on stage. And if you listen to his interviews, he'll talk about how much he loves his stage. I'm a keynote speaker, so I'm on a different stage, but I understand that feeling. And he had 13 mouths to feed. down in Macon, Georgia. So he needed the fame and he needed the money. But unlike Little Richard's time, we now, all of us, including you, have the resources to go in different directions. You do not need to go corporate. You don't need a cosign. You don't have to play their game. That was required of him back in the 50s and 60s. I get it. But not now. You can go fully independent and connect with your audience directly, just like I'm doing with you now. You can do a hybrid thing where you hire people such as consultants, freelancers, marketers, folks of that nature that help you get the stuff out there. So you have a little bit of structure, but you're not beholden to them. Or you can go ahead and work with a corporate contract, which is fine. With you knowing that you have the options, suddenly that becomes your leverage. You don't have to be impatient. You know you have options. If you get a bad contract, unlike Little Richard, you can actually be like, oh, I can do something different with this. Those options were not available in Little Richard's time. Here's the secret. They know that you have a choice. They're banking on you not knowing that you have a choice. You do not need to sign the bad contract. You don't need to accept their terms. That's not required. You have many, many options in front of you. But they are banking on you not knowing that. In Little Richard's case, it took him about 30 years. 30 years to get royalties from his classic songs that my grandmother used to dance to all the time. Don't give your power away. You don't have to. Be sure and check this next video as we go deeper into the power that you have as a creative.